Well, g'day, couch critics. We're finally days away after so long of waiting. The World Cup is about to kick off in Australia and New Zealand, and we're here to preview the Matildas game against Ireland. That'll be kicking off in probably about 2 days. Tomorrow, probably by the time this video goes up. So I'm Brad. Thanks for joining us. This is Samuel. Mate, how you going?
Yeah, good. I like your shirt. Nice,
Thanks, mate.
classy. Whew. Oh,
21, Ellie
no,
Carpenter on the back. I can't turn
beautiful.
around all that way for the camera, but gotta represent the Western New South Wales girl on the national stage.
It looks schmicket. Do you reckon it's nicer than the men's World
Yeah,
Cup kit?
yeah, I would say so. I probably like the collar a bit more, and it's like the pro version. I don't know what you call it.
Yeah.
Player spec kit. So it breathes very nicely. Not that it's hot at the moment. It's quite cold here in Bathurst, although I'm sure it's a bit warmer in the bowels of Sydney.
Yeah, it's a little bit. Yeah, no, we're good. We're good. And just World Cup fever's kicking in. Like, incredible. You're going to be there
Mm,
at the game.
mm,
I have not attempted to try and get some tickets for it because it's like pretty much sold out. There's a couple
yeah,
of retail tickets out there, but it's going to be electric. Atmosphere is going to
yeah.
be incredible. And I guess what we're here to talk about is what's going to happen on the pitch.
Yeah, hopefully a win for the Matildas, but I don't think it's going to be that easy as some people would like to think against the Republic of Ireland. Of course, we're expecting a sold-out crowd for Thursday's game at Stadium Australia. The second game of the World Cup, so I think New Zealand's kicking off against Norway for the first game.
Right.
It is, that's correct. Cool. So we don't actually get to host the first game, but we get to host the final. But yeah, let's get straight in. I guess we'll talk about the Matildas because we obviously know a lot more about the Matildas than the Irish. But Sammy, we're having a bit of a chat off air. I guess let's just talk about the defense because you probably highlight that's probably the weakest part of the Matilda squad.
Yeah, look, I know you can go back and watch a video Brad did all by himself
Hmm.
predicting, how the World Cup's going to play out on
And
the,
that was
the
biased. I'm not ashamed in saying that was biased. My heart's telling me Australia will win. My brain probably doesn't. I'm trying to coerce my brain into it, but it's not agreeing.
Yeah, look, I think uh, now lots of people are riding Tilly's vibes, and
Mm,
it's a home World Cup. Like we're
mm,
excited. I'm definitely excited. I back the Tillies. I'm still not sold on Gustafsson as a coach, and I
mm.
think he should have been gone after the Asian
Okay.
Cup. I think we're in for an interesting. I want him to prove me wrong, and for the
Mm,
girls to really do all the talking on the pitch. But I still have concerns about this Matildas squad in competitive matches. I think
mm,
leading into this World Cup, yeah, we've won some friendlies against nations when they've
mm,
played their full string side. Like, yeah, we beat France
mm,
last week, and it's the first time we beat France in 10 years or something like that. But it's still a friendly, a week out from the World Cup. Are we seeing everything? In Formula One, they call it sandbagging,
mm,
where in the practice sessions, a team they'll go out and they'll
mm,
show a little bit of what they got, but they're not giving it all. They're holding some back because they know qualifying is where you really need to show what you've got. And I
mm,
think World Cup friendlies or leading up to the World Cup, they're exactly like that. So yes, Australia won. We won 1-0. Now, of course, the Matildas also aren't showing everything they've got in that game, but neither were France. And so when you look at our last real competitive football, it was that game against South Korea that knocked
mm,
us out of the Asian Cup. And so I've got concerns, and like you mentioned, it's mostly around the defense. We know the Matildas have an incredible attack, and where we're strong is
mm,
that blistering attack, and maybe that suits us for this Ireland game because Ireland are probably going to sit back a little bit more in this kind
mm,
of trying to nick something, and where they could nick something is when Australia is piling forward, us getting caught on the counter. So
mm,
we saw against France, Alana Kennedy alongside Claire Hunt in the
mm,
heart of defence, and Steph Catley was on the left, Ellie Carpenter on the right. I think Catley
mm.
and Carpenter will be our starting
Yeah.
fullbacks for the World Cup match against Ireland. I'm not sure who's going to turn up at that centre back spot. Like, is it Alana Kennedy and Claire Polkinghorne?
Mm,
You know,
mm.
has Claire Hunt done enough to get herself a spot as starting
Mm.
centre back? Who's our real other option at centre back? It's not
I mean, at
really.
centre back, yeah, I think you got Courtney Vine and Charlie Grant, but they play in the back line. But are they centre backs or are they on the left or the right?
Yeah, well, Courtney Vine, I would say, is actually a winger. Like,
Yeah.
uh,
Well, Wikipedia's telling me that she's listed in the defenders. So,
that
um,
she wouldn't play there. Like
oh,
with
sorry, not Courtney Vine, Courtney Nevin.
Nevin, yeah, she's not going to start ahead of some of these. So I think it's probably Alana Kennedy alongside Claire
Mm,
Polkinghorne. And I think there's just look that they've looked somewhat solid. I just think if an Ireland is going to sit back and hold up, and then try and hit us out on the counter,
mm,
they're not the quickest turning and running.
mm,
Maybe Carpenter can save us, but Carpenter is essentially another winger. That how
mm,
high up she plays in this Gustafsson system.
mm.
Uh, it's built on Australia dominating and getting lots of attacking opportunities.
Yeah.
I just fear our defensive kind of frailties. That being said, I think uh, that Mackenzie Arnold is a fantastic goalkeeper, and I
Yep.
think she's going to be our starting goalkeeper over Lydia Williams for this World Cup. I think she's fantastic, and
Mm,
watching her develop over the last couple of years, I think Mackenzie could really stand
yeah.
up and make herself known in this World Cup as just an elite goalkeeper. So she's our strong point of our defense. I think that she's the best part of our defense.
Yeah. Okay.
Um, Bailey, what do you think? Defense, midfield, attack. Do you think
I
there's
think, of
weaknesses
course,
or strengths?
pun.
Are you going to focus on the weakness or the strength?
I think it's always good to focus on the strengths because I'm a positive kind of guy. I don't like these negative vibes from Samuel, but yeah, I think you've raised some valid points about the defense. I think with our attacking options, we're fantastic. Obviously, Sam Kerr. We don't really need to say much more about Sam Kerr. That's what's already been said. Mary Fowler's really exciting. I think she has bags of talent, and I think she's probably worth more attention than Sam Kerr because she's just a live wire. I think Caitlin Ford is probably our most underrated player. Hayley Razzo as well on both wings there. There's a lot to like about us going forward, and I think it's important that we take our chances. I think we dominated that game against South Korea, our last competitive game in the Asian Cup, and we just couldn't finish. I think that really hurt us. That's probably the big thing we should
Mm.
probably be taking out of that last game is taking our chances because I think Sam Kerr can fall vulnerable to just not doing that. Even though she scored like crap load of goals for Australia. Um, yeah, I think going forward we're going to be really exciting, and I think hopefully the girls can ride the vibe and the crowd at the game because I think tactically we might have some strengths and some weaknesses and there might be better teams at this tournament on paper, but I really do think that home ground advantage of packed out Australian fans will play a major part. It would probably it might help us get an extra goal or two that we probably wouldn't get. So I think that's important to talk about too is the crowd because I think having that 12th man, 12th woman, 12th person there at the ground will really benefit us massively, especially in front of a sold out Stadium Australia. And I think the girls are really riding the vibe. I think the fans are as well. I watched the Disney doco, got me really hyped up as well. So I think from what we briefly know about Ireland is that regardless of who they're playing, they do like to set up quite defensively, five at the back, and some of the Irish fans have been quite critical of it, but from all reports, it gets results. They never qualified for a major tournament until they qualified for the Euros last year. Now they've qualified for the World Cup following a playoff win, I think, against the Scottish. So something's working. And then there's that really good player from Arsenal
Yeah,
in their
Eddie
midfield, Katie McCabe. Yeah, and she got Player of the Year for Arsenal. The season just finished, so she's by far their most talented player. From all reports, she's a bit like Roy Keane. She's got goals, she's got assists, she goes hard, and she likes to give a bit of lip to the refs. So, yeah, and they're ranked 22nd in the world. We're 10th. So,
Yeah,
I
FIFA
don't think.
rankings are, a pile of absolute dross. When it really comes down to it, FIFA rankings, I don't think tell the whole.
Oh no, no, for sure. But they're up there for a reason. They're not someone like Belgium who's just been the top for so long, and we know they don't deserve to be there. I think Ireland is a emerging nation in Europe, and I think it's not going to be a pushover, regardless of what many people would like to hope, myself included. It's going to be a tough game. I think we've got a
Yeah,
tougher game to come in this group, but I think there will also be an element of why there's a good vibe and feeling around the squad. There'll be a lot of pressure to perform, because the expectation of the nation is to get a win, and it's going to be tough.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. I think you're right there that the crowd will definitely help, particularly if Ireland are able to hold the Matildas out for a period of time, that the crowd will really it'll heap the pressure on, but if the Matildas are able to score, it'll kind of just explode in it'll be electric. I reckon I'll hear it all the way here in Newtown from Homebush. But I think it'll be interesting to see Gustafsson how he starts this tournament. Does he start with his best squad out there? What is the Matildas' best kind of front four? Because I think that's a tricky one that we saw against France. Caitlin Ford actually playing in the 10 behind Sam Kerr and kind of being the second striker with Courtney Wine on the left and Hayley Rasso on the right. I think Rasso on the right will be the way things go. Kerr up top, of course, there's no debate there. I think the interesting is who plays that 10, who plays left wing. Caitlin Ford can play left wing and kind of more traditionally has played there for the Matildas, but has been really good in the number 10 position. And that's, I think, where it's going to be interesting to see which way Gustafsson goes, because Mary Fowler is just a fantastic footballer. And I think her best position is behind the striker in that number 10 role. And so do you put her there and put Caitlin Ford out on the left, where she's absolutely still dangerous, but when you've got two players who their best role is the 10, Courtney Vine's a great option, and I want to see Vine time at the World Cup. I just think she's not as strong as a Caitlin Ford out there, and so I imagine he might lean that way for our first game, to have Fowler up in the 10 spot, and she scored that goal and proved that she should be there. But then just depending on how the Irish game goes, interesting to see how that will develop against Nigeria and against our third team, Denmark. Denmark? No, we don't play Denmark.
No, we're playing Canada.
Apologies.
And
Canada.
Nigeria.
Sorry, Canada, that's right, and Nigeria. I think Nigeria, moving on from the Irish game, Nigeria is a game, again, that the Matildas should win. And Canada's going to be a tough match. That's really the spot. It's between the Matildas and Canada really fighting out for the top of this group.
Yeah, and that Canada game is, I don't think it worries me. I think we can beat Canada. I'm confident we have the team to do it. But I think they're going to be the biggest test in this group stage. I could be wrong. We could lose 4-0 to Ireland on Thursday night. Hopefully not. But I think, well, we played. I've seen Australia play Canada at the Sydney Football Stadium last year. And what I remember from that game is Australia dominated the first half. Mary Fowler scored. We're playing great. And in the second half, I don't know what the hell happened, because all that momentum, all that great play we had just went out the window, and we basically allowed Canada to come back and win that friendly match. Great thing, it was a friendly match, it didn't mean anything, but we play like that again against Canada, we're going to get punished big time. But we've got to worry about Ireland first, and I think, it's going to be a tough match, but it's going to be a good match to be at. I'll be there, of course, traveling all the way down from Bathurst, and I'll be getting home at, I don't know, about 2:30 in the morning, ready to go to work the next day. So that'll be fun. But I'll be attending a lot more games next week. Samuel, we should probably ask, what's your predictions? What's the scoreline going to be, and who's going to score for the Matildas?
Yeah, so you're banking on Matilda scoring. No, I think.
Well, okay. Who's
Yeah,
not going to score? I don't know.
I think the Matildas win this 1-0. I
Okay.
think I think it's going to be a cagey start to our World Cup uh, campaign. I think Ireland are going to sit deep and try to catch us on the counter. I reckon Ireland hit the post at one stage when it's 0-0,
Mm.
and then the Matildas spring something crazy when all the pressure is actually flipped on them, and Ireland are having some attack, and Mary Fowler pops up in the box, late run, slots one, just like she did against France. That's my prediction. 1-0, Mary Fowler goal.
I like your prediction too, but I'm going to go 2-0, and I reckon Mary Fowler will score a goal, and I think probably Sam Kerr will pop up for another one. I've got to say as well, I think the early goal will be crucial because Ireland's a team that'll sit back. You score early, their whole game plan is out the window, and they're probably going to push forward, which they're not used to, and they're going to get caught out a lot. So I think for the Matildas, I think like any football game, you want to score early, but I think getting that goal straight away will be massive for Australia to get the pressure off, but it'll change the game completely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so 2-0 for me, 1-0 for you. We're both going Australia, so that's good stuff. Um, well, yeah, let us know in the comments who you think you're going to win. And if you don't think Australia's going to win, I don't want to hear from you. No, that's all right. Let us know why you think Ireland's going to win if you think that. And probably maybe let us even know in the comments who you think your starting 11 should be for the Matildas. But, if you like these previews. Oh, sorry, you're going to say something,
Yeah,
Samuel?
well, I was going to say the Women's World Cup obviously is a fantastic time of this channel, and
Mm,
so let us know if you want us to be talking about the Women's World Cup like more regularly over this next month while the tournament's on. Do you want us to be chucking out
mm.
extra episodes? Because definitely possible while this awesome tournament is on. Or if you just want us to talk about the Tillies and that's it. Obviously Brad's going to a couple of games. I'll be at a game, maybe even more, see what tickets are still available. But yeah, let us know if you want to see more FIFA Women's World Cup content from the A-League Couch Critics. Not our usual kind of expertise, but we're gonna get into it and drag you along for the ride if you want.
Yep. And if you see us at the game, come say hi. We're not going to bite. Well, I might not, but I don't know about Samuel. I'll be, as I said, at the Australian Island game. I'm going to France and Jamaica, South Korea, Colombia, Denmark, England, Colombia, and Germany, and then all the knockout games at Stadium Australia. So,
Brilliant.
yeah, cool. All right. Well, thanks for joining us. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next video.